gonna edit that.
So in order to do tree braids, I'm just gonna give you the fundamental basics. Again, this is not gonna be where I do a whole head. I'm just gonna show you the beginning techniques, so those of you who already know how to cornrow can get started if you're a fast learner. And I'm doing it with yarn so that you can see a little bit better how the technique is done. Okay, once again, you put your hands in the giddy up position like this with the weave. So you start with the giddy up position and the beginning of the hairline, you put the hair like this, like so, and then you begin cornrowing. When messing with straight hair, I like to do at least 2 rotations of cornrowing the hair into the head. And then you get a piece of hair and you pull a strand out and you hand it to the person. They should hold the hair, not too tight, but just tight enough to create a healthy tension. So after you hand them that one piece of hair, you keep on braiding. As you normally would. Okay, so you do another couple of rotations. Then you hand them another piece of hair. Their hair should not ever be in the hair that you hand to them. Try really hard to make sure that their hair is not in the hair that you hand to them. Their hair should not be a part of the weave. And then when you run out of hair, you just add, like you're adding extension hair to a cornrow, you add the weave to the tree braid and you keep on braiding. Okay. Once again, I'm going to hand her a piece of hair. And you have to tell your client how you want them to hold the hair. Sometimes you'll be able to tell by the way that the braid is holding if you need them to hold the hair down so that you can have a better tension with the cornrow, hold it up. Some people don't use the technique where you hand the client the hair to hold, but I found when I do hair that it creates a tighter braid and that it helps the hair not to fall out. I had a beautician that used to do my tree braids, and she never handed me the hair, and like by the 2nd or 3rd day masses of hair would be falling out of my cornrows, and that is not cute. In fact, it's kind of embarrassing when you have a public moment and a piece of your hair falls out. Alrighty, so you just keep going all the way back. And as you braid the cornrow, you do want the cornrow to be tight, but you don't want it to be so tight that it causes white bumps to appear. You don't want your client to grimace and moan and complain that you're hurting them.
Ouch. No, I'm just kidding.
Stop it. You don't want them to complain that you're hurting them, and you don't want it to be so tight that you cause hair breakage. But you do want it to have a nice tension so that the cornrow will be tight enough to hold the hair. Alrighty. So we're coming to the end of the cornrow. And you may want your cornrows to be bigger, or you may want your cornrows to be smaller. I tend to like to do my tree braids about this size because it makes it kind of ensures that you'll have a full looking head of hair. Okay, so we finished one tree braid, and so this is usually what one tree braid looks like when it's finished. On this side we've started the process of doing tree braids, and so with hair added in, this is what one tree braid should look like. Okay, and for those of you who've never done tree braids, you just kind of have to play with the amount of hair that you use. I don't like to use a whole lot of hair. You shouldn't really use over 3 bags of hair. If you use 4 bags of hair on one person's head, it's gonna feel like they have like 5 pounds of hair on their head. And so if you add hair in, kind of make sure that you start off with a thin amount and you add more as you come towards the top of the head, because the top of the head is where you're going to have to add the most hair for it to cover all the others. So it may look thin on the side, but when you start getting to the top braids, that's when you want to pack it in. Well, I hope that this quick little tutorial has been helpful. I will do another video on tree braiding, but she has a test that she has to prepare for, so we're going to cut this short. I just wanted to do this so that those of you who already know how to tree braid and are somewhat familiar with the technique would pretty much be able to get a gist and do it. So good luck, and if you need any pointers, please drop me a line and let me know, or if there's anything I can do on my next videos to make it a better video, please drop me a line and let me know. Okay, goodbye.